You never came here to compete. You were here to rule. They counted you out. They underestimated you. You thought you were just another participant in their game until you overturned the entire board and changed the rules in real time while they were planning, gossiping, and watching from the sidelines. You were making quiet strategic movements that no one saw coming. You did not simply change the balance. You broke the whole structure. Now, their fixation is more than simply curiosity. It's desperation. They're trying to figure out how you moved so smoothly while they were still playing checkers. But here is the reality. You never required their approval, recognition, or affirmation. You never played their game. You were creating something beyond their comprehension. Now watch how they strive to keep up. Watch as they try to comprehend the energy that no one can recreate. They believed they had control until you demonstrated what actual supremacy is like. You're not simply altering the narrative. You are the power that creates history. Bend to your will. Every action you make reverberates across the hidden fabric of reality. Proof that you are not only improving, but beyond what was previously deemed feasible. The foes on your way do not appear by chance. They appear in reaction to your irrepressible motion, drawn to the energy that resists stasis. Their existence is not intended to dissuade you, but rather to be overcome by the sheer power of your will. Victory is not achieved via raw force alone. It is driven by clarity, flexibility, and the unwavering fire of an unfettered will. Each step is more than just motion. This is a statement. Each breath disrupts the powers that want to limit you. The weight of opposition doesn't slow you down. It demonstrates that you are directing the trajectory of what happens next. Resistance isn't your adversary. It is proof of your impact. There is no waiting for clearance, no waiting for the proper time. Those who change the course of history don't ask. They take. You are not here to exist inside the parameters of expectations. Limits fail under the weight of those who refuse to accept them. What others see as happenstance is the manifestation of inevitability. There is no coincidence in the sequence of circumstances that propels you ahead. This is not luck, but the result of totally embracing your power. The world around you responds because it must. It transforms in reaction to the weight of your presence. Every obstacle, misstep, and storm has not weakened you. It refined you. If you comprehend this, you will never merely pass through. You were made for this. There is a change in the atmosphere. When someone who has declared their intention enters a room, it is not via force. It is about a calm conviction that cannot be overlooked. The weight of your presence does not command attention. However, it is difficult to miss. They sense something in you that they cannot describe. An invisible pull that makes people wonder. It isn't curiosity. It is a recognition, an understanding that they are in the company of someone who moves differently. You do not seek validation. You emanate a power that renders it superfluous. What they focus on is more than just adoration. It's something deeper, unnerving. They see a metamorphosis they had not believed possible, and it undermines their complacency. Your very presence demonstrates a reality beyond their previous knowledge. Every word you say, every choice you make is more than simply action. This is proof. They are not attracted to you as an individual. They are lured to the understanding that something larger exists and has manifested before their eyes. When boundaries are breached, the attention that follows is unavoidable. You do not move as others do. You have transcended the boundaries of restriction and entered a realm where fear no longer governs the limits of your life. Their stares aren't for you. They're about their future selves. You're no longer bound by their rules, no longer beholden to their expectations. They do not want you to be out of options. They watch because they're compelled to see what happens when the impossible becomes a reality. Superstition does not bind the forces of cause and consequence. They are balance's quiet architects. weaving hidden links that ensure no deed goes unsolved. Those who have acted deceitfully, attempting to bend people to their will, are now caught in the identical web they wove. This isn't retribution. It is the inevitable progression of a far larger order than any person. There are no mishaps while transferring scales, only the accuracy of a self-completing cycle. What is happening in front of you is not a coincidence, but rather the inevitable return of energy that was sent forth long ago. Fate does not strike with unexpected turmoil. It glides with calm confidence. Those who strode arrogantly, exerting authority without integrity, now face the consequences of their own actions. Their disintegration isn't a mystery. It is the gradual deterioration of a foundation founded on falsehood. The universe neither hastens nor delays. It delivers with perfect timing. The illusions they created shatter beneath the weight of their own creation, not by the hand of another, but by forces they previously disregarded. There has been no verdict, only the repayment of everything that was given. This moment isn't just about them. It also refers to the hidden forces that operate in your favor. Their descent does not signify your victory, but it does indicate a change. The recognition that perseverance is not overlooked. Every trial, every unfair incident has contributed to this quiet reckoning. You have not just endured, you've soared above their reach. And now, the tides are moving to restore equilibrium. This isn't about vengeance. It is not about proving anything. It demonstrates that nothing in this life is without effect. The invisible powers are at work, and they have made their position plain. No deceit can endure the test of time. Transformation does not occur in secret. It is a force that flows through existence, influencing the lives of everyone who bear witness. The movement within you is not overlooked. It is a quiet disturbance, an unstoppable force that demands attention. This is more than just growth. It is an upheaval of the past, a refusal to be bound by the constraints set by those who chose comfort over change in your climb. Those who remain static are compelled to confront their own lethargy and reluctance to change. You do not intend to reveal them. However, your very existence exposes the facts they have long evaded. The responses you elicit have meaning. They are the unavoidable repercussions of standing in your full strength as your presence grows. So does the anguish of individuals who formerly felt that their own illusions were permanent. They may fight, reject, or try to force you back into the areas you've outgrown. But none of this is really about you. It is the turbulence generated by the loss of control over a world that they formerly defined. You did not decide to challenge them. However, your presence has become the one thing they fear the most. A tribute to the reality that change is not only possible, but necessary. No weapon made against you will flourish. You will condemn every mouth that comes up against you in judgment. Isaiah 5417. Consider a lighthouse standing tall in the midst of a fierce storm. It doesn't flinch, wobble, or lessen its brightness to make the waves more bearable. The winds wail, the sea rages. Nonetheless, the lighthouse remains unmoved, unshakable, and unconcerned. That's you, a force that can't be ignored, a presence that cannot be ignored. The momentum you build is evident, and the opposition you confront. That is not an indication that you are on the incorrect road. It is assurance that you are precisely where you should be. You know, when something big goes through the world, it causes a shift, which makes people uncomfortable. Those who stare at you with wide eyes and clenched fists are not drawn to you because you are average. No, they're drawn to you because they recognize something they don't quite grasp. Your change pushes them to face a truth they would rather ignore. The enormous gap between who they are and who they could become. But hear me now, it is not your burden. The discomfort isn't your concern. You don't have to shoulder the burden of confusion. Growth is a path with no rearview mirror, no room for pause, and no time to wait for those who refuse to move forward. Motion does not require their comprehension, nor does it slow down to accommodate their fears. You're not here to beg for acceptance. You are here to walk with divine power. Because this is the truth. When God invites you higher, He does not issue a document for public approval. He does not form a committee to decide if you should be promoted. No, He moves, and so do you. And the movement, it is so powerful and irrefutable that it compels the entire world to react. Some people will be inspired. Some people will be threatened. And some will be so taken aback by your presence that they will try everything in their power to bring you down. Not because they despise you, but because your mere existence reveals their complacency. Let them watch. Let them whisper. Allow them to fight until they comprehend. Because their concentration on you isn't a problem. It demonstrates the influence you are leaving behind. Their scrutiny is not indicative of your weakness. It is an expression of their dread. They sense something in you that they cannot yet identify. But they realize you're not like the rest. You're not here by chance. If you sense a tug, a deep feeling that you have been selected, now is your time. Click the super thank you button and contribute or more to gain deeper insights, unique information, and a path that fits with your divine destiny. This is not only a gift, it's a proclamation, a step toward being the person you were meant to be. Take the call, walk with us, and totally embrace your destiny. Your adventure starts now. You are not called to blend in. You are called to stand out, to ascend above, to walk with the confidence of someone who knows. They have been set out for a higher purpose. So move openly, speak authoritatively, and never shrink to make people feel protected. Because the chosen ones do not bow, they lead. You are not just adapting. You're changing the entire landscape around you. Take it as a sign if your very presence causes others to reassess their boundaries. You are the one who sets the bar. Those who refuse to adapt will either rise to match your enthusiasm or be left behind. Growth isn't limited to the physical realm. It is a metamorphosis that reverberates beyond what can be seen. Every decision, every action is a proclamation of will, a break from stasis. This is not just a transition. It is the creation of something completely new, an intentional discarding of what no longer fits. Every simple deed has weight. Packing one box and closing the door behind you. Stepping into an unexpected environment. These are not trivial motions. They are intentional actions in altering your world. True change does not occur in quiet. It rattles. It shook. It refuses to be ignored. It is not a passive transition from one condition to another, but rather an active recalibration of who you are becoming. You are not simply leaving behind places, people, or habits. You're moving beyond an outmoded version of yourself. With each step, a decision is taken. What to keep and what to give up. This is mobility as renewal, a process of refining that eliminates what no longer serves you while strengthening what does. Growth does not wait for comfort, nor should you. Every change is an alignment, an unwritten agreement between you and your own potential. The energy expended during this procedure is not wasted. It is reinvested in your own progress. Forward momentum is about more than just getting to your target. It's about becoming the power that shapes your own destiny. Not everybody will understand, and that's the purpose. If none of this resonates with you, continue on. The message, however, is plain to those who sense it deep within. Some people were never supposed to blend in, to take prescribed actions, or to remain silent in order to fit into someone else's story. They are the ones who interrupt, confront, and reveal the invisible. They are the untamed, unstoppable, and unmistakable, whilst others are stuck in cycles. These people build new routes not for affirmation or acclaim, but because it is in their nature. They take every effort at breaking them and forge them into something unbreakable. Their wisdom is not borrowed or taught. It was earned. And if this resonates to you, perhaps it is time to acknowledge that you are not alone on this road. Those that understand will make their way to you. You set a table for me in the midst of my foes. You massage my head with oil. My cup overflows. Psalm 23.5. Imagine a banquet hall, golden light, spilling from chandeliers. Tables were set with the nicest feast, overflowing, bountiful, and prepared specifically for you. Just beyond the table, the very people who questioned you, watching silently. I'm unable to look away. They don't understand why the feast wasn't prepared specifically for them. They don't comprehend how you can keep rising and prospering. Keep walking in favor, no matter what they throw at you. But that's the problem about divine favor. It does not seek for permission. It does not seek the opinions of those who attempted to hinder you. When you're chilly, you're freezing, and no amount of resistance will change that. The intensity of their attention does not indicate that you are weak. It is the most obvious indication that you have become irrefutable. They gaze because they can't understand how you escaped free, how you overcame restrictions, how you broke free of the cycle. They assumed you would never escape. What they see, they envy. What they are obsessed about. This isn't about them. This is about the shift you caused, the force that causes them discomfort, the metamorphosis that reduces their examination to background noise. And here's the secret. What was intended to break you is now strengthening you. Every gossip, side-eye, each effort to discredit you, it has no power until you give it some. But you've mastered the skill of transforming opposition into elevation. Every word said against you creates fuel. Every question you have is an opportunity to grow. You are not burdened by their preoccupation. You are buoyed by it. You don't shrink in their gaze. You climb higher, untouchable, because here's the deal. You were never supposed to be little. You were never supposed to play by their rules, to fit within the boundaries they erected around you. That is why they focus. That is why they watch, because they know you have something beyond their reach. Your energy is more than simply presence. It is power. It moves. It is disruptive. It alters the environment before you open your mouth. And whether people love or hate you, one thing is clear. They empathize. So, let them gaze. Allow them to analyze. Allow them to try to make sense of something they were never supposed to comprehend. Because while they are wasting time monitoring your every move, you are already ahead, walking into the destiny that was predetermined for you before you breathed your first breath. You're not playing tiny. You're not slowing down. You're leveraging what was intended to damage you to your advantage. The banquet has already been arranged. Your anointing is already established. The only issue is, will you keep moving? Keep soaring. Keep claiming every seat that was meant to be yours. Because the chosen ones do not wait for permission. They assume their station and walk with heavenly favor. Their reaction isn't random. It is a result of the energy you emit. The frequency you possess transforms the fundamental fabric of their vision, prompting people to notice and compare themselves to you. Their efforts to undermine you fail not because of what you say, but because of who you have become. Their energy, which was originally intended to oppress you, now acts as impetus, boosting your progress. This isn't manipulation. It represents mastery. You are not a passive recipient of their attention. You are the one who determines how it forms the world around you. The attraction with you is not based just on appreciation. It's an unsaid acknowledgement that you've beyond the boundaries they accepted. There is no requirement for authorization. There is no request for validation. Only the refining of energy. The alchemy of transforming each moment of resistance into something bigger. their attention, their thoughts. They make mute attempts to comprehend. They aren't burdens. They're resources, and you use them without hesitation, constructing a road beyond their understanding. What you project is more than just words. It is an incomplete conveyance of presence, a signal that travels beyond the physical. Thoughts become currents, and intentions spread across unseen realms. And every change within you affects the energy around you. You do not just exist in the world. You send waves across it, breaking patterns that were before unchallenged. Your presence is a statement, a quiet force that communicates louder than any voice ever could. You're not only observed, you are sensed, a pulse, a movement in the air, an irrefutable knowing that persists. Despite your absence, those around you don't have to know why they're drawn to you. They merely react, impelled by an invisible power beyond rationality. This is the effect of alignment, the resonance of a being that no longer fits inside the bounds of the commonplace. You do not need to declare your power. Your energy has its own presence. This is not a coincidence. It's not even luck. The power you carry, the presence you maintain, is purposeful. Those who cross your path may not always understand why they react the way they do, but their response is obvious. You are not just engaging in the trade. You're in charge of the plan. The influence you have is not transitory. It becomes ingrained in the fabric of their experience, leaving an imprint that extends well beyond what can be seen and articulated. Your strength is founded on more than just one ingredient. It is a seamless combination of consciousness, emotion, and action. Intuition directs your steps, helping you to navigate unseen currents with accuracy. Emotional mastery stabilizes you, guaranteeing that no external forces affect your direction. Execution translates ideas into tangible results, translating promise into irrefutable influence. This isn't distributed power. It is a planned structure of power refined via alignment. You do not merely use strength. You planned intentional movement on all levels. The relationship between your inner mastery and the environment around you is not coincidental. It's a well-formed balance. What you detect beyond the apparent is inextricably linked to how you behave in the concrete. The blueprint molds your reality. Stability does not imply passivity. It is a mastery of movement. You do not lose control while transitioning between thoughts and actions. You weave them together, forming the road ahead of you. As you walk it, this is not simply adaptation. It is a command. Breaking barriers and defying expectations is not a matter of chance. It is a natural consequence of this synchronization. Your development isn't chaotic. It is deliberate, honed with each decision you make. Your understanding, emotions, and execution are inextricably linked. They are interconnected, amplifying each other in perfect harmony. This is what makes you formidable. Not only raw power, but control of all energies inside you. There is no hesitancy or indecision, simply purposeful motion, a presence that transforms all it touches. This isn't just stability, it is strategic superiority, a level of control that guarantees success in any profession. You step in. The attention you attract is not something you want. It is a result of the force you project. It does not impose any strain on you. It tests you. Your discipline includes the ability to manage other people's gazes without being persuaded. Your energy is not for public consumption. It is sacrosanct, surrounded by limits established not out of fear, but because of its significance. Allow them to observe. Let them speculate. However, they will never reach the heart of your being. You are not the subject of scrutiny. You are an unstoppable force that goes beyond the scope of idle views. Your armor does not consist of exterior protections. It is forged in the assurance of your identity. This isn't passive resistance. It is an active fortification, a shield built on clarity and purpose. What does not serve you gets repelled before it enters your realm, and nothing unworthy may pass the threshold of your kingdom. Conviction is your shield, and unflinching intent is the blade you use. Any entity that seeks to invade your space does more than just confront you. It collides with the unyielding might of your alignment. Your energy is not negotiable, nor is it a resource to be sucked. What you carry is strong, impenetrable, and unaffected by external pressures. This isn't about arrogance. It is the natural result of standing in a power source that does not shatter under pressure. When your foundation is unshakable, nothing can demolish what you've constructed. Attempts to undermine you are no longer as effective as they previously were. Their remarks and observations are their premeditated attempts to disturb you. They are impotent in the face of unshakable conviction. This isn't a war. It is an expose of lies. There is no need for retribution when every effort to bring you down merely fuels your momentum. True power does not declare itself. It is sensed, and when you stand firm, the entire landscape shifts in reaction. What was once an assault has become an affirmation. Every gaze, every word said in the darkness, every useless attempt to disturb you. It's not a difficulty. This is proof. They are not disassembling you. They're proving that what they perceive as a weakness is actually a power that increases your rise. They feel they are witnesses to your struggle, unknowing that they are seeing your ultimate triumph. Their primary emphasis is not a danger. It's a subtle acknowledgement of a force beyond their reach. It's not simply about ascending. It involves altering the terms of interaction. The old story of being at the mercy of other forces has vanished. You are no longer adjusting to their expectations. You are rewriting the fundamental structure of reality. This metamorphosis is not random. It is the direct outcome of deliberate judgments, with each action prepared with absolute accuracy. When you stopped reacting and began directing, everything changed. Nothing was an accident. Every upheaval, disturbance, and so-called happenstance was part of a bigger plan. The circumstances that others reject as chance alignment are, in fact, the subtle unfolding of a reality shaped by your will. You did not just embark on a new road. You wrote it. The cornerstone of your life was not influenced by coincidence. It was reforged with intention, polished by the awareness that the constraints established by others were never yours. Carrying your energy now determines the surroundings. The gravitational attraction of your essence does not require permission. It demands to be recognized. This isn't about external validation. It's about mastery. The world does not just see your transformation. It has been recalibrated. You don't go through life expecting to be understood. You continue onward, while knowing that your very presence serves as a light for others who remain bound in delusion. Every breakthrough, discovery, every moment of clarity that dispelled incorrect beliefs. It was never only about you. Your change has far-reaching consequences. What you have opened is proof for others seeking their own enlightenment. If your evolution points to something deeper inside them, let them discover it. Some people will resist. Some people will doubt. However, those who are prepared will detect the signal. You aren't just changing your own course. You are inspiring those with the fortitude to climb.